Мы готовились в таком же штатном режиме, что и всегда, поэтому ничего особенного не поменялось. Мы просто играли праки и именно к этому типу что-то готовили. Вот и все.
Well, I think Shiro has given us a lot of consistently good performances over the past couple of years, so I think you can just expect more of the same, really. I think for Cloud9, it's just about putting all the pieces together and figuring out the puzzle, right, and making sure that everyone's on the same page. I think when you have as much firepower as Cloud9 does, there's always a chance you can make a run and lift the trophy. I'm just excited to see them play. I feel they make a deep run here at Game Is8.
Лично цель на этот турнир дойти, выиграть турнир и дойти до финала. Ну, еще и Fnatic выиграть, потому что на прошлом турнире они нас выиграли.
Let him cook now.
الحياة لحن، ولأننا جزء من مقطوعة عظيمة تحركنا، تلمسنا، تصنع من لحظاتنا ذكريات بديعة. لأن الوجبة، التجربة، المغامرة ياتيك بعد جديد في هيلتون الرياض.
All new Honor 90. Capture ultra clear detail with a 200 megapixel camera. Care for your eyes with risk-free dimming display. Honor 90. Share your vibe.
Sold, yeah. On that red hot boulevard. Ooh, I'm doing damage control on my heart and my soul. And ain't no one telling me nothing, I'm taking control. If you got something on your mind, go and spit it out. If you got something on your chest, go and get it off. We don't have a moment to waste. For the last few days, we've been running in place. I need a vacation. Both hands holding on, but I feel it breaking. If I'm not good enough, how long to replacement? I see right through your disguise, your pretty little lies. What if I told you I know exactly what you want? What have they sold you? On that black top boulevard. Ooh, I'm doing damage control on my heart and my soul.
Let him cook.
Said I'm good on my own. Control on my heart and my soul. Oh no, I don't need your help. Said I'm good on my own.
Well, would you look at that? Welcome back, everybody. It's Gamers8. We're live in Riyadh. It is not as sunny anymore. You know why? Because the sun has gone down, and so has it on our first map of this series. Quarterfinal will be exact, and we're looking at Ints taking on Cloud9. I also want to introduce you to my analysts here in the studio, two gentlemen, if they'll allow me to call them that. We have Maniac there in the middle, and then Y&K down on the very end. Both of their own pedigrees and their own various inputs. So, guys, wow, right out of the gate, good stuff. Bad stuff.
Class in session. Snappy just had a...
Wait a second. It's STC analysis time. There we go. Now we can start, guys. Now we can start. Please, take it away, Maniac.
what a performance from Ents. Like, truly, what a game. There's some moments, games like these where you just want to tip your hat, clap your hands, just say bravo, because there's basically every single element that we like to use as the decorum in Counter-Strike is in here. You're talking about individuals having great moments, individually winning 50-50 duels, and then you talk about a team that just completely sweep you off the ground with great team play, a gazillion flash assists, great decision making.
Let him cook now! Let him cook! I said, let him cook!
GG Ents, really, just GG.
Yeah, and also even more so impressive, you look at the fact, okay, they lose pistol, the force buy doesn't work, they're 3-0 down, first gun round. Basically, Madden just sort of over peaks the jiggle peak, right? And Shiro is waiting for him with the op, gets the kill, and off of the back of that one entry, Cloud9 wins the round. So you're 5-0 down without really getting to play too much CS, so to speak, right? And after that, I mean, once they sort of settled down, they had to win 3 gun rounds in a row, and on the CT side of Ancient, just to get Cloud9 to go on a sort of a half buy.
And if anything, that is what impresses me the most. Because once Ents is in control and Snappy can just use the right strategies and he can utilize not only his players but the team play, you kind of get the sense that, you know what, it's over. Cloud9 is not going to come back.
You say team play, and in round 19 you got that, didn't you?
Oh man, what a great example of it. Honestly, just flawless. It's like you're watching an orchestra and a beautiful symphony. That's a great example coming out from the side of Ents. You see the scoreline here. Hobbit is going to get team flashed perfectly. Madden is just being served. That menu in front of him, nom 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 nom, just eats him away. Look at this. Look at Hobbit. The man was 1 out of 9 entry duel, but also I don't think he saw a whole lot of people in this game. And it's not over yet. It's a whole lot of teamwork and synchrony. A good position being found here. You see Cloud9 is trying to regain some information in the map, but as soon as the gun is being fired, the jig is up, turns around, puts him out of his misery. This looked so easy, but I just want to say it doesn't come from the sky. Like, it's a whole lot of work. It's patience. It's a whole lot of synchrony between the players as well. And Hobby just being absolutely mowed down.
Yeah, it's a craft. It's not that these guys are just running around aimlessly. Well, most of them.
Oh, absolutely not. I mean, we heard some pilots say, you know, the 4 players have been together for over a year now, and then you added Nerds who's fit in like a glove. And I think also, unlike, let's say, the Navi Mirage T-side versus Vitality yesterday, or today Gamer Legion against Heroic on Inferno, Cloud9 tried different things. Like, they had different, even when they were up 5-0, they called an A-rush to sort of change the pace. Really good call, pacey call. They had a 3v3, 4v4 post plant, with Ents managed to, you know, get the retake done. Shiro was in a 1v2 and he missed that first shot, right, from A main. If he hits that one, maybe wins the round, who knows what happens. But Cloud9 was trying different things. They were just getting shut down, you know. Either they couldn't find the entry kills, and they were trying to do at times some faster takes for map control for those zones, whether it's towards up cat, towards K, whether it's mid. But Ents just had a good read on them, you know. They were always ready for it. They always had manpower there.
Nerds, good read. Maiden, good read. What is it about Maiden? Why is this guy so good?
I think he's just a safe pair of hands for the most part, right? And he does have to take a little bit of a step back in some situations, in some rounds, because, you know, you have Nerds, you have Sampais, Diha, all these other guys, right? But I think also they've had this discussion where he needs to get his spotlight a little bit too, because he is a good player and he knows how to take space and, you know, how to utilize room given to him.
I almost feel like the numbers don't do justice to Madden in this game. Like, I think we had a couple of very key highlights right here. Moments where...
Let him cook now! Let him cook! I said, let him cook!
What the?
Sure that Ents were...
What I like about Ents is they don't wait for everything. Like, they don't give their opponents too much time to set up. Even that first gun round, second gun round they're talking about on the 5-0 scoreline, like, you can see the flashes are coming in. They understand if we let them plant and get to whatever they want, this is going to be an almost impossible retake. But if we quickly try to disrupt them, maybe even deny the bomb plant, that's the best way for us to try to win this round, to secure the round. And for me, I like it.
I look at Cloud9, you got Anubis ahead of you, and maybe maybe there's something to grab onto there, perhaps. You know, you want to talk about switching the flow up for Cloud9. How do they switch that up on a new map?
I think they get to start on the CT side probably, because they got to pick the side. So hopefully, you know, you win the pistol, you get some momentum going, right? The players get a little bit more confidence. But listen, I don't even think they weren't playing scared. They weren't playing necessarily bad. ENCE was just better.
No, I agree with you. I still think that towards the end, let's just say the last 5 or 6 rounds, I think Electronic probably overcompensated a little bit, and he felt like nobody else was really here, and he threw his life away a whole lot of times, but he really got stuck in it. And I can understand how, being in his shoes, he's thinking, okay, like, screw this, I got to do it. Like, I got to be the one going making the difference. It's just, I think ENCE identified it. They slowed down the pace a little bit. They just plucked him up like a little strawberry in the spring, or whatever season they actually are mature. That's the botanist out there. Just hit me up on Twitter. But they were just absolutely just hitting me. What? Don't worry about it.
Yeah, I mean, I get it. Yeah, I do. Strawberries, you know.
Do you like strawberries?
You just got me there. I look at this and I want to know if it ends here.
If it ends here,
It ends here.
Yeah, yes, without a trace. Yes, indeed.
Yeah,
Back
that's
to you in the
something like that.
Well, I mean, we saw the Game Legion Heroic series, and, you know, Heroic stomped them on map 1, then Game Legion was able to bounce back. I think for Cloud9, it's more about just still not giving up, right? Not surrendering and keep playing aggressive, trying to, you know, turn the tides, really. But sometimes it's not about how much you can play, it's how much the opponent will let you play.
Maniac, we've got 10 seconds to play. It's 10 till live. Take it away.
well, if you have 10 seconds to play, that means I have at least 8 or 7 minutes.
Let him cook now! Let him cook! I said let him cook!
Do it, Anubis. And it's going to be ENCE looking to close it out here over Cloud9.
Yes, indeed, Trace. They certainly will. Their map pick, looking for that 2-0, hoping to knock Cloud9 out of Gamers 8 2023. A pretty woeful performance in Cloud9 after going up 5-0 Anders. Didn't get anything done, and they're going to have to pull their socks up here on Anubis. Now, the good news is it's a map they play. We saw them actually take down Fnatic on this map at this tournament, 2-0. It was a 16-7 win. They also found victories in Cologne against Monty and 9-23. So it's a map they can play. It's not a foregone conclusion. They didn't really turn up in that first map, but anything done, and they're going to have to pull their socks up here on Anubis. Now, the good news is it's a map they play. We saw them on Ancient. We're seeing on this map this tournament, 2-0. It was a 16-7 win. They also found victories in Cologne against Monty and 9-23. So it's a map they can play. It's not a foregone conclusion. Let's give us a game at least, right?
Give us a game, yeah, that's all we're really asking for. Give us some action. Get Shiro fired up. We want to see him with the UWP. We're kind of missing a little bit from that one. They have all the individuals. They know how to play this game, but yeah, they got absolutely beat up by ENCE in the first outing. I guess we'll see if the second map is going to be any different. This seems like it's destined to be one of the really tough teams, but maybe it's just too early. Maybe it's harder to put a team like this together than we think. Maybe our expectations are like maybe a couple of months from now, you know?
Yeah, they said they were in the honeymoon period themselves, though. I'm just yet to see it, I'll be honest with you, especially in that outing, but time will tell. Maybe they can bounce back. We saw it in the first series today as well. It was a blowout in that first map, and then you come back fighting, and it's a different game entirely. So not all is lost, but it doesn't look good, that for sure. It will be Cloud9 at least starting on the CT side, but again, Anubis, it's a new map, it's still evolving, but considered a T-sided affair as well.
It's turning into one of those honeymoons where you're sort of arguing in the hotel already, like
regretting your decision. What have I done?
You're in Bali. No one's having a good time. It's not exactly great at the moment, is it?
No, it's certainly not, and it's going to have to be a very different game here to inspire any sort of hope for Cloud9 fans across the world here. We're waiting to get into the second map. There's Madden on your screen. Looks like he's very chill. He had a show-stopping performance on Ancient. Him and Nerds were just unstoppable. We had Snappy in the cave, the caveman, as you said. We're going to be trying to make that a thing, and it looks like everyone's on the server. The fist bumps are coming through. Electronic trying to rally the troops here. He's going to have to here, ladies and gentlemen. The second map of our third quarterfinal. Cloud9 taking on ENCE. The pick of ENCE, and they'll be starting on the T side. We'll have a look at the buy and see if we can work out where they might be heading towards. There's a P250 early for Madden, and a smoke and a flashbang as well. Not much else in terms of utility. Shiro's got the dual elites. A smoke for Axel, a flashbang for Electronic. No kits, just to note that. And we'll see where they want to end up here. Leaning towards the A side with 3 players. The bomb will be joining them as well. So maybe just a little bit of presence shown towards B. Actually, towards Canals.
I wouldn't be surprised if they're going to use Nerds on that P250 just to try and lurk in an early kill, but they're actually going very aggressive.
See ya.
Never mind the lurking. Forget what I said. Just straight to the bomb side.
This is brutal. With that smoke down in Temple, that's all the B defense removed. The bomb's planted now.
Yeah.
They've got no kits, bear in mind. 5-on-4, no kit retake. This is going to be a very, very difficult round.
Even if you put the smoke up on the bomb, that's 10 seconds inside, just holding your breath and hoping that no one's going to tag you through. Some pies are stolen the USP in the meantime. This seems like it's not going to be doable at all for Cloud9. Electronic gets a good start, though. He's going to pick up the first kill, and now the battle's really begun. Snappy gets another headshot. 2 versus 3, Perfecto and Shiro, and they're running out of players and running out of time as well. It's a 10-second defuse, just to remind you, there's no way they're going to be able to do it now. They spend a little bit too much time, and I think Ents to play this really well, being slow about it. They are trying, but again, bullet here. There we go. The burst fire is out. It doesn't matter if they lose it at the end because they don't have the time. Ents will win the pistol.
Really nice B split there. Nice and simple, getting the Canals control and just managing to scale up towards a dark position. And as soon as Hobbit goes down, that's the cue. That's when you need to go. Smoke down towards Temple, open B bomb site. And for me, the round was already over. A pretty admirable attempt. They managed to get all the kills required, but unfortunately, like you said, with no kits, the bomb was just too far gone, and it's yet another successful round for Ents here. Enjoying themselves out there, as you might expect. It's a great showing so far. They'll be up against a 4-spy here as Cloud9 enter with 2 scouts, a couple of pistols, and an electronic MP9 here. They can win this round, of course, but we'll see what they make of it. First shot doesn't quite connect.
Double scout, though, does make me excited. There's a heavy tag onto Snappy, but the grenade around the corner. Shiro stepping right in front of it, and then the Molotov at his feet, so he's going to have to run away. He's actually burning alive. He's not running at all. I guess that's another way to go.
No,
Hobbit! That could have been it, but the MP7 will bring him down.
Oh, well, that's going to be the round. Some opportunities there. That CZ had to connect. Maybe a double kill was available. They overlooked the position. He could have bought some time there, but unfortunately, nothing working out for Hobbit in the first 2 rounds. He goes down with nothing, and 4 players surviving here for Ents. They go 2-0. On their map pick on the T side, they'll be saving an MP9 and a 5-7 here for Cloud9. But that is about it.
Yeah, not much else they can do. Scouts needed more tags, 1 or 2 more for it to become really interesting, but they don't even get close. Blown up instead. Yeah, this is obviously not the start that Cloud9 are looking for. It's still early days on Anubis. Obelisk is going to get blown up here, and third round will be.
You know what? One feature I would love to see in CS2, like even back in Source, when the bomb would go off, the whole bomb site would like explode with rubble, and everything would disintegrate. I think that's a feature we're missing now. Just for the cinematics, you know, would be much cooler.
I agree. I had a similar idea once where I wanted the sort of shockwave of the bomb to conform to the architecture of the map.
Sure.
So
okay.
Sort of like it would you know, blast
dust clouds flying through the tunnels and stuff.
Exactly.
Yeah, that would be cool. I also want to see the 1.6 death animations where you get a headshot and everyone flies backwards like 6 feet. That was so cool. I think that's something that needs to come back as well. But that's neither here nor there. As we get into round number 3, that's a guaranteed frag. I'm afraid Hobbit will be dropped, and apparently not. They are actually fighting back with some force. 1 kill found. Axel and Perfecto remain in the 4-on-2. They both remain on the B bomb, so though Snappy, be careful. He locks them in towards Dark at least, and it should be quite a clean finish here. Dihab knows he's got 2 free kills here, just trying to dance around the flames. Gets his toes burnt, and it will be the cleanest of starts here for Ents. 3-0, 2 kills in hand. Money is out of control. Some Pius will be buying the AWP, so will Shiro. And that's the name we need to track right now. Shiro, if he's going to have any sort of impact in this game, he needs to start waking up here because he was non-existent on Ancient.
Yeah, didn't have the impact that they needed. Not at all. No one was really matching Nerds and
I don't even recall mentioning his name apart from just lacking the absence of himself.
Yeah, 1 round where he got some nice flicks on some Pius, I think, but that's about it. I can't remember anything else apart from that, so Hobbit, a little bit of a grenade, flashbang in his eyes, and the SMGs are running him down. Oh, this is dreadful. He's not got no head armor. He has to stay alive here. What a tap away. Nuts to follow it up with a double.
Way.
And the bomb site has been wiped out.
Oh my god. Snappy with that MAC-10. The long-range kill in towards the dark room. Shiro flashed off the angle. It looked like he was destined for a kill there towards Jail, but couldn't hit the shot. And by his standards, that's a massive miss. 5 players survive, 4-0 on the board, and the money is getting out of control now. You might as well go hunting. You don't even really want these MAC-10s going forward. Try and remove the remaining rifles here. Diha, he's on the hunt, looking towards the beach. And there will be a player lying in wait. Electronic, same position again. We'll get that frag.
Yeah, it's where he likes to save if he can, and no one else is going to be hunting him either. But that is such a decisive round. It's one of those rounds you look back on, you just think, wow, there's no rotation. It doesn't matter how much you call it out, no one can get there in time. And Shiro, again, he had maybe a chance before it all went off. He maybe could have had a shot, and you have to hit that because, as it turns out, he didn't even get a second chance. He's just wiped out afterwards.
Unfortunate scenes here for Cloud9.
Not to say it's going to be an exact parallel, but you brought this up on Ancient. You said, what if Cloud9 hadn't won the pistol in the first 5 rounds? They would have been completely blanked.
Yeah, it could have quite easily been a 16-0, to be honest with you. They just didn't have a response. There was nothing they could do. They couldn't break through the key choke points in the map, and the pace, the momentum is being carried forward here into round number 5. It looks to be a B execution, Anders, off the bat. He's going to get stuck in. Snappy leading the charge. A captain's performance required here. It's going to be Hobbit, though, striking first at the MP9. The CZ doing work as well. 5 on 3. Round not done, though. They can find these kills, but Perfecto doing a great job here. They are actually doing God's work here on the B bomb side. Not a single kill found. That's more like it for Cloud9. Answering back, finally.
That's super interesting. I'm actually a little bit shocked to see what just happened. Obviously, 3 kills from Perfecto with the CZ 75. Ends, though, if you look at the timing that they're hitting on that one, they're actually running through their own Molotov, which is so hard to read on the CT side. So it's really shocking that they managed to get this defense going. I think if Perfecto doesn't hit the first couple of shots there, they probably still get wiped out. Even in the 3 on 5, I was skeptical. Could have been Ents winning it,
Absolutely.
but Cloud9 are on the board.
Well, that's exactly what they needed. The way things were going, this was looking like a very bleak affair after that first map. 5-0 would simply not do, but now they're back in the driving seat. They've got a nice full buy here as well. The Shiro AWP is out once again. Grenades exchange over towards A. Doesn't quite connect in towards the connector position. And Snappy now. Deploying utility. In terms of CT presence, 2 players on the A bomb site, so they're ready for an execution this side of the map. Diha bravely sitting in the smoke here, wants to push further. There are flames on the other side. Bombardment of bullets here. Axel knows he's done some damage here. Needs to reload and fall back.
Dihar wants to push on through. He's thinking about it. This is scary for Axel. The spray is good, and Dihar, if he'd had that shot, it might have just been the round over almost. That would have cleared out most of the A-bomb site. Still a 4 on 4, though, and a nice smoke to really slow it down and maybe get a bit of control back for Cloud9. They have middle. They've only got 1 player on the B-bomb side. That's maybe the real weakness at the moment. If somehow Ents were to find out and get the kill here against Shiro, that would be a real nightmare.
It's the bomb currently in A main, but it's going to be smoking towards heaven. Molotov at the fountain position as well.
They're going to run back, surely.
Yeah, I think so.
Oh, Snappy has a flashbang. He won't flash the corner for him, will he? He could. He could flash Madden into this one. Shiro's got a bit of a smoke. That's some nice timing. That actually might change their minds.
It's actually a very good smoke, isn't it?
That's close, though. Sunpias, he's ready for this one, too. And Snappy, easy enough, because he was already low from Sunpias, getting the leg shot against him. So Shiro, yeah, he got the nice smoke down. And honestly, if they would have committed to the B-bomb side, that smoke would have been godlike.
The smoke was good. It actually funneled them back in towards A, though. It's actually really unfortunate. It's self-preservation for sure. He keeps himself alive, but the round slips by the wayside.
It does, but it's one of the good. This is one of the rare rounds where you actually get a sense of what mid-round calling is happening on Ents, and it's really good. Like, they're able to change it up at a moment's notice. They had Nerds the whole time outside of the B-bomb side, and I think they had Madden on the other side towards that dark connector, so they could have crushed that bomb side, and they also had the other option open, which was just going straight into the A-bomb side. So just a lot of stuff, a lot of cards on their hands at the end of that round.
Well, they know Shiro was positioned in towards B. He fired off a few shots here. Is it worth the hunt? It doesn't seem like it. As it will be another round here for Ents. 5-1 in their T-side campaign, their map pick. Cloud9 will at least stay alive with the AWP. And bear in mind, they won with just pistols before, so they have plenty of money going forward. They had a nice injection of cash, and not all is lost. A full buy will be coming into round number 7, but concerning scoreline here, considering the fashion in which the defeat came through on Ancient. This is looking way too comfortable once again. Bouncing back after losing to the pistols here. Yet to win a gun round, Cloud9. Double orb setup. A potential remedy for their problems they're facing here. Madden with the double doors Molotov down there, trying to apply pressure towards middle.
The lineup. now. That's horrifying.
Kill.
I could feel my toes curling on that one. Electronic probably the same feeling on his side. See, here's the bullets just whizzing right past his ear. Madden's still in a position to do something. There are so many grenades you can throw over the walls here in towards the CT side of middle. You got to be so careful. We've seen, you know, people with the Molotovs and the HEs thrown over all the way from outside of A. You can really do a lot with it, so you got to be careful. I think Electronic is in a safer spot right now, but they're still quite stretched out, and it's a very similar setup for ENCE. Maybe this time without Madden in the middle, but they are doubling up outside of the B-bomb side, and they've already hit that B-bomb side so efficiently that maybe Cloud9 will be a little bit panicked. Maybe they'll go a little bit early.
No way! The fact he has the presence of mind to even preempt that shot, and the fact he hits it afterwards as well, that is amazing. Diha stealing away the kill. They're going to make their way in towards B, and it might be wide open. Perfecto's in towards Temple. They're rotating. They're scrambling in from CT spawn. They might have to call the save here, Anders. The bomb will be planted. There's not really much they can do about it. Hobbit would have to go above and beyond right now.
I'm shocked that they're actually going for this one. It looked like Perfecto had already run away. Oh,
there we go.
That shot on Snappy. Wait a minute. There's no more nades on the T side, so there is a way. They got double smoke as well to try and go for the retake, and diffuse kit as well. This can be done. 4 versus 4. The bomb is freshly planted. Let's see if Cloud9 really have what it takes to do this. If they don't, they're going to lose every single rifle, and they will not be able to rebuy them. It's going to be a disaster. The spray, it's through the smoke.
So
it's Madden
good.
at the double. It slows them down right in his crosshair. There's nothing they can do.
Perfectly timed. Nerds, knowing he can still have impact through the smoke. The communication on point. As soon as they hear the footsteps, he starts spraying. He connects his bullets. The swing comes through. Double kill found by Madden again. As we find 6 on the board here for ENCE. Look, Cloud9 unraveling at the seams once again. They still have cash. They keep saving weapons, but need to start posting some gun rounds here. It's the same sort of scenes we saw in Ancient, but before, at least they had the 5-0 buffer on their side of the server. That's the only way they could even attempt that retake. I was going to say, you might as well save at this point, but the fact they got that shot through the smoke, it opened things up.
Also baited them into it.
Exactly, and they lost much more than they should have done. But still, the money is fine. It's not a big deal. They're going to take a tactical timeout here, discuss what the hell is going wrong for them.
We had that segment with Chad before the game went live, where Hobbit and Electronic were being, asked about different music, and all they knew was Easy for ENCE.
That's a good point. Well done.
Rough
That's the only song they were familiar with, and unfortunately for them, it is quite easy for ENCE right now after absolutely dominating them on Ancient. Cloud9's pick. We find ourselves at a 6-1 advantage here. Tactical timeout for Cloud9. Saw the coach of ENCE looking very, very relaxed.
Maybe it's some long-term warfare, psychological warfare for ENCE. Like they put that track in the game, and it's just the back of everyone's minds. They're like, oh, we're losing. It's somehow just easy for it. I just can't believe it. You know?
It's somehow just easy for
just eroding their confidence.
Snuds just being a nuisance here. Takes vision away.
So confident. Ridiculously confident.
Yeah, baits out the shot. Identifies Shiro's position. Removes his vision.
There's nobody at A at all from Cloud9. They've just left the bomb side.
Yeah, they're going to have to try and swing out towards middle here. Double stack towards the doors here. Axel with that first frag. First advantage they've had in some time here. Can they hold on to it? That's the problem. Nice nade. This is looking pretty good now. They can fall off. Electronic holding position. Should be able to get this kill, no problem. Excellent work.
Yeah, ENCE have identified that there's nobody in B or in the A-bomb side, but I think it's still going to be a fairly decent retake. It should be. Surely Cloud9 have the protocol. 3 versus 5, Henry. You don't look too confident.
If a smoke, if the smoke comes down towards connector, it makes things a lot more complicated for them. That's going to rot 10 seconds on this plan now. They can still win this round. Sun Pius thrives in these sort of environments. So does Diha. What a shot from Snappy! Perfecto will bring it back to a 3 versus 2 advantage. Bomb ticking now, and this round is all to play for. Sun Pius chomping at the bit to get stuck in.
Gotta be careful. Axel has the kit. If he dies in the wrong position, it could get really, really awkward. Still just scoped up, not really out of it. Axel finds the shot. Diha back here behind the pillar, playing for it. 1 versus 3. They got the smoke up, and they are gonna be able to get it. Oh yeah, they're switching it out. Gotta find the right guy with the kit, otherwise it's not gonna be working out. I think Perfecto picked up 1 as well, and they will be able to pick up a second round, but not a lot had to go wrong there. A little mistake misstep and they might have run out of time.
Yeah, a complete adjustment there in the setup, like you said, leaving the A bomb site open, which is pretty normal. That can happen as you try and focus your efforts on the key choke points of the round, middle ideally, and he managed to come out on top there. It was a lovely hold from Electronic, funneling them in towards A, and as you said, it was precarious at times, but a decent retake, and it's back to the double orb setup for Cloud9. 6-2 overall, and it looks like we got a tactical timeout as well, the first one for Ents, as Saw wants to get stuck in here. A change of pace perhaps, as their money is starting to dwindle somewhat. After being fully invested here, this is going to be a bit of a swing round for either side. Round number 9 should be an absolute banger. Speaking of bangers, that was beautiful from Snappy. Like, I always underestimate him. I know he's been playing out of his mind recently, but I never expect him to hit shots like that.
It's because when you're the in-game leader, and also, I guess with the kind of characters that are surrounding him, you're not looking for him. It's Sunpires, it's Nerds, sometimes it's Madden in certain games, but yeah, usually you don't think of Snappy as necessarily the engine of the team. But I mean, you are right. There are a lot more of those games recently.
Yeah,
makes them a lot more tricky team. It really does. 6-2 though. Cloud9, this can't be a one-off. It has to be the beginning of a trend for them to really cement their lead here on the CT side.
Yeah, they need consecutive rounds right here, right now. And this should be it. Oh, Axel.
The debris.
How are you alive, my friend? That's pretty lucky, pretty fortunate. Gets away with a good flashbang over the top, leads Hobbit to certain death. Perfecto there, looking to pick up the pieces as well. He's close and Nerds. So active. So annoying to play against. He's always peeking, always pre-firing, finding that opening kill.
I think the fact that he's so active and just stepping outside, that's what inspires Cloud9 to actually flash their way in. They're thinking, like, there's no way he's making noise. We know that he's there. We can pop flash him and kill him, but they just can't. He's so confident, just crouching into it, assassinating Perfecto.
And there's another kill available here for Madden as well. Doesn't have to commit to it. Knows he'd be sacrificing the advantage if he goes down, but he finds the AWPer. Axel in towards the hub. 4 versus 2, and yeah, A's open again. So yeah, the round's over, I'm afraid, ladies and gents. I can't build this one up. You wouldn't even attempt this retake.
No, especially enough because you know Nerds is somewhere on the other side of the map, and he's just holding it. And that must be even more frustrating. He goes from playing this very aggressive, very confrontational style, and now suddenly he's just passive, nowhere to be found. Now you have to go look for him, but he's holding it a little bit back in it again, and he's going to find one more. What a player. 3 kills.
So sick. So sick. And we have got Electronic looking to save the AWP. That's about all he can do now. And the hunt has been called. They're going to try and find him. Tucking himself in towards the temple position. And not known to be an AWPer, but he hits a lovely shot there. Quick scope on towards Sunpius. Smoking himself out of the temple as well. Hoping to stay alive here. D-Hap waiting for the time to strike. Snappy looking to lock him in from B main as well. They're going to go for this. Using the veil of the blast to hide the footsteps, and it will be the final kill. The AWP removed, and we said it's a bit of a swing round. There is money to buy, but resources will be low for Cloud9 here in round number 10.
Yes, this must be a very, very frustrating experience. They've won the 5th round, and they go on again to win the 8th round, but now they're back to losing again. It's just... they're not getting ever the momentum. They're not being allowed to build up any kind of an economy. They're certainly not taking the economy away from Ents either. So all of the fundamental stuff that you normally need to build a reasonable half on the CT side of any map is just completely eluding Cloud9 at the moment.
Oh, look at this from Snappy as well. This is inside the matrix right now, knowing there's a chance they won't have helmets. Like we said, there's a buy there, but lacking all the resources required for a full buy. So the MAC-10 is actually the perfect weapon for the job. 3 players without helmets. Watch out for Hobbit, Electronic, and Axel up against Snappy now. This could be brutal.
And they're back to that same execute. They've done it over and over again at the B-bomb side, and most of the time to great success. They got the originals, or the main smokes down already. They're waiting for it. They have another barrage, so if they want to, they can throw a second, this time with Molotovs. They can burn out a bunch of corners.
Well, here we go. Hunting for information at least. Axel will tuck himself in towards A main. Might be able to catch him with a flash in their hand, but unfortunately...
oh my god.
Oh, he doesn't check it, but there's the kill.
Anyway.
Yeah, they'll take it. A 1-for-1 trade with the MAC-10. No problem. Nerds flashed off towards B main. And we'll pump the brakes. 45 seconds remaining. Hobbit has not had a good run of it in towards that dark position. He's been bested time and time again, and we know he plays it. They'll be aware of the possibility, and he gets 1, but that's all he's worth here. Nice shot from Shiro. Bomb goes down. 30 seconds. If he's going to start shining, this will be the moment.
Nearly baited out there. Nerds thinking about it.
How has he done that?
don't know. He's
You've just
crazy.
jumped across and you got away with it.
An absolute
Against
madman.
Shiro, you just think there's no way he misses this shot.
It's exactly the sort of shot that Shiro is made to hit every single time, so I am a little bit shocked. Nerds back here, hoping to challenge him. Shiro this time, gonna get his revenge, but he still has to take care of Diha, who's a little bit forward, trying to fire, and it's close! But Shiro, 3 kills, saving Cloud9. They needed it so badly.
It was dicey. It's right down to the wire, but they get the job done. Cloud9 will be posting their 3rd round here. 7-3 overall, but it comes down to a 1 versus 1. Money is tied on either side, but you're pretty confident that ENCE should buy into it, considering that the money will be low once again. Electron will have to purchase the MP9, and great work from Shiro. The best sequence he's had so far. Excellent shot on Nerds. That pretty much saved the day. He picks up the M4, closes things out, and here we go then, ladies and gents. Round number 11. This game's starting to warm up now.
Yes.
Cloud9 providing some decent rounds. If they can win this one, they're onto something.
A lot hangs on the balance based on this one round. It really is important for both teams. You can see their money is low all across the board here. This is what it comes down to. And for Cloud9, it's about staying in the tournament. Worst case scenario for ENCE, they have to play a 3rd map. But for Cloud9, it's starting to look really, really grim.
B-split once again. Now, where is Shiro this time? In towards Dark, and he is in a lot of trouble. We need to hit the quickscope right now. Looking for the double. Can't quite find it. Some players will punish. Hobbit looking for multiple frags as we exchange left and right.
Boom.
Man advantage now for ENCE. The retake is possible here. Axar on the 2 versus 1. One will be planted. He has no kip. FAMAS in hand, and we smoke. I think there's another smoke. Yeah, they can smoke off Temple once again. So this is be incredibly difficult. Without the kit and another smoke about to go down, you'd assume towards Temple. He might not stand a chance here, but he has vision for now. Low HP player in the form of Sun Pius. And Madden right next to him. A key duel with the FAMAS in hand. Can he get anything done? Apparently not. And ENCE are back to their winning ways with a nice B-split once again. Shiro had to hit that second quick shot.
Yeah, just individual dots of Cloud9 on the timeline at the moment, but that's not what you need. You need consecutive rounds. They're out of money once again. ENCE up to 8. This is just relentless. Their confidence in taking these fights is really remarkable. Madden's gonna get the kill on the last one. And a timeout, I believe, called. Trying to see if they can figure out exactly what's going on here. Everyone from ENCE has really shown up, and actually weirdly, if you look at Cloud9 on the scoreboard, they have almost as many kills. They're not really that far behind. The same was true for a while, at least on Ancient.
It's because they've been saving a lot of guns and finding exit frags, denying ENCE on their exploration during their round victories. But like we said, that was such an important round. We're getting to the bookend now of this first half of the second map, and it looks likely to be pretty much an eco here. They do have enough to justify some upgraded pistols, as you can see coming through on your screens right now. It's CZs, P250s, and they did manage to win one of those rounds. The CZs, excuse me, shone incredibly brightly in towards that B-bomb side. They had a clean sweep there.
Yes.
That's how they actually got on the board. We'll see if they can replicate that once more, this time without armor though. It's incredibly unlikely, but maybe they need a bit of a miracle right now.
Again, they're facing Snappy, who's just, he senses the weakness, he knows the economy on that CT side, so he's quite happy to push them back, clear out every corner of that he can with the MAC-10. Flashes, Molotovs, grenade going everywhere, this time inside of the A-bomb side, and what a spray from Diha! Oh my god, he nearly had the 3rd one there. I want to see a replay. How did he get that kill? Hobbit and Perfecto on 2 on 5, but obviously no chance for a retake.
He's playing like a man possessed right now. Let's just go back to that shot he got towards the fountain position on the A-bomb side. A boosted AWPer and the A-main smoke.
Yeah.
You wouldn't, most players wouldn't even consider that a possibility. He comes in and one-bang Shiro. Like, the shots he's hitting, the sprays he's controlling is just remarkable right now. Really enjoying his contributions here for ENCE. They go up 9-3. Similar scenes to what we saw in Ancient. Cloud9 just don't have a response here. A world-class performance coming out of ENCE time and time again. Solid understanding of what they're up against and purchasing into it perfectly. Snappy's just loving this MAC-10. Means it can be very nimble. Throw him in first, allow the stars to get the job done, and they have a clean sweep. They barely give up any damage in that round. Money in a promising position for them to close out this first half.
It's also a really luxurious position to be in if you're the in-game leader, because you get to all the first-hand information, right? If you run into someone over at the B-bomb side on your little MAC-10 adventure, you just know exactly what. You have such a good map in your brain of what's happening. Look at this shot.
Yeah.
Instant.
I could kind of refer to it as a lack of input lag. If you send your in-game leader in first, he can make that definitive call. You're not relying on information.
Yeah.
You can be responsible for that. It's like players like Harrigan will do that as well, throw themselves in and like hunt for that intel, knowing that they can actually make the call based on their own judgment.
It's one of the...
Oh, get that kill, boys. Come on.
There's
nuts.
Flashbang was god tier to take down Nerds. That's what you needed. They've tried it before and it didn't work out, but this time it was just dead in his eyes. Speaking of which, shot through the eyes is Axile. Sunfire is able to pick him up, but he's scoped. He can't even see Electronic peeking that one. So still a 3 versus 4.
He assumed that he took down the orb, but that would be the only player there. And you normally be right in thinking so. Yeah, it's a totally fair assumption. But now, A's still under scrutiny here. Shot with the orb doesn't quite connect. Shiro will be backed up from Electronic though. Finding that man advantage 4 on 2. Surely their round at this point.
Has to be.
Diha starts to be a nuisance once again. Tucked himself in. Madden just waiting behind the cake.
This is close, real close, but I think, man, that was his chance. He needed to get the first kill to buy himself space to swing, and it's not going to happen. It will be another round for Cloud9 as we go into the 14th round. Again, they're just so scattered right now. They've got no consecutive rounds.
But at least they're posting some rounds. Not all is lost. Like we said, it's a T-sided map traditionally. So the fact they're not getting completely blown out of the water here is something. Shiro missing a couple of key shots there, but like I said, Electronic making up for it, picks up the pieces, and round is secured. AK-47s within their ranks now as well, in the hands of Axel and Perfecto. I prefer to see Axel with an AK than an AWP, I'll be honest with you.
Yes, you've got to say so. Since he sort of came back after Buster, I haven't necessarily seen him do a lot of the really mad Axile stuff that I'm used to seeing, but I still rate him very, very highly, so I'm expecting that still to come in the lifetime of this lineup. Axile, who's got some backup from Electronic, but Diaz going to be able to find one, the spray. He's got the right angle, the right idea, and it's a trade. It's worth it for Ents. 4 versus 4.
Absolutely. They had one of those players on a Khalil, so absolutely happy with that trade. 4 on 4, and Madden threading the needle here. He's through a connector. They have no idea. He's got a free kill in front of him. Oh, it's an absolute execution as Electronic is dropped. The Hobbit is there, and we'll see it enter another 3 versus 2. Diha cannot be stopped in this A-bomb site. So much conviction behind every single push. The sprays seem to connect every single time, but Shiro is still alive and well. Finds Nerds towards middle. Bomb to be planted. And once again, another 2 versus 2, but look where he's positioned.
Oh, Shiro, that's what we need. And more of it. Sunfire's, though, going to be walking in. He's right around the corner, gets the shot against Shiro, and he knows where Perfecto's coming from. He's got the exact right read. The flank is godlike. He takes him down, blows him up, and it will be 10 on the side of Ents. This is looking so rock solid.
Sunfire's with a hot hand right now. Every pick, and he's always just in the right position, crosshair in the exact right place. We saw it in Ancient as well. I don't know how he does it. His game sense is just incredible.
Shiro, this is the kind of round you want to see out of Shiro. He paved the way back in because imagine if they have to retake with Nerds still in the middle. So until they find Nerds, I don't even think they can go for the retake, but even that wasn't enough. 10 to 4, round number 15. Diha at 13 kills, Madden at 11. They're doing so well right now, but Axile answering back. Finally, Famas comes out with a kill against Diha. That's a great shot to get right now, but the flashbang on the other side. Snappy, nearly with the double spray down. That was about to go horribly wrong for Cloud9. Good adjustment though, Shiro. Look at what they have, Henry. Even in a 4 and 3 like this, they don't have that much to work with on the CT side. Electronic, when you're this deep in, it's always hard to know if you're actually going to get the kill or if you're going to turn your back. Oh no, knife out. He's getting stabbed.
Oh my god. There was a moment there I thought he was actually going to get counter-knifed. That could have happened. It looks like they've done enough though to find 5 rounds on the board though. It's been an arduous journey for them. Not a clean performance, but they will be picking up this final round here. 10 to 5. Something to work with here going forward here. The first half wraps up. It's a tantalizing prospect that ends as they look to knock out Cloud9 in map number 2.
from my mama, cause I don't think about it too much. Talking about
you hear the sound of thunder? Not much time to run for cover.
Welcome back, gamers. You are watching Day 3 of Gamers 8 2023, and we're in Map 2 between Cloud9 and ENCE, where Cloud9, unfortunately, looking down the barrel of tournament elimination, Anders. Things have gone from bad to worse, but it's not over yet. They do manage to get together 5 rounds at the very least as we move on to the second half.
I know it's all in the past, Henry, but I'm a little bit stuck on the fact that Electronic tried to knife somebody in $1 million tournament in the 15th round, where the money for the knife doesn't even make any difference, and he could have just killed him. I mean, they won the round anyway, so it's all good, but man, that is
almost
so
got
risky. Give him some action, get
Yeah.
Shiro
Knifed
fired up. We want to see him with the AWP.
almost took him
Kind
down.
of missing a
He got
little bit from
stabbed
that
him,
one.
yes.
They have all the individuals. They know how to play this game,
It's a
but
strange
yeah,
one,
they got
but we'll see whether
absolutely
Cloud9 can
beat up
recover
by
here. A
ENCE
must-win
in the
pistol to
first
say the
outing. I
very
guess we'll
least.
see
They've got a
if
smoke,
the second map is going to
couple
be
of
any
flashes, and a couple of
different. This
discords
is
as well.
seems like
Flash
it's
on over
destined
for
to
the
be one of the really tough teams, but maybe it's just too early. Maybe it's harder to put a team like this together than we think. In the middle, see if they can get something in return here. They're trying to probably calling it is. There's a lot of people there waiting for me. Good little jump past. That's a lot of information for Electronic to get, and Orbit's going to be able to catch Madden coming out of that one. So Bob's going to be planted, and Cloud9 very likely to win this round.
It was a blowout in that first map, and then he come back fighting somewhere. It's a different game entirely. So not always lost, but it doesn't look good, that for sure. We can say these Julies, be careful. But again, there's a nice kill with some players. Anubis, it's a new map, it's still evolving, but what's going on, Anders? They actually might win this round. It's actually down to a 2-on-2, and he finds a quick kill here. He might be the save the day decision. Some players definitely going to give it a go. He knows he plays in towards Dark, one towards default as well. They're doing so well to make this one possible, but there it is. The round comes to its logical conclusion, but that got a little bit scary, didn't it?
I think that kill against D-Hub with the dualies, that's what did it. That's what bought the time. But yeah, if they would have kept going, there was a world in which, even without the defuse kit, they might have actually had a crack at it then. Cloud9 better keep their focus. Some highs with some blazing shots here, cutting down Electronic and Hobbit both. Just for a second, it looked like it was about to spiral out of control, but fist bumps are going out. They win the pistol in the second half. It's 10-6. And this has to be the start of a huge resurgence for Cloud9. They've not shown up for this game yet. We need to see that. Madden, though, look at the flashing! 2 kills with the pistols, one of them the CC, the other one the 5-7, and Shiro and Electronic are out of the round.
Not like this.
Dear God, Henry, what's happening?
They were just back on their feet. It was looking good, a convincing pistol, finally. And Dihab, he ain't done yet. He wants another slice of the action here. The shadow working in his favor. Axa, what are you up to at the bomb there, my friend? And now that's in the most precarious spot you could ever imagine. And that's round done, I'm afraid. Oh, God, it's looking really quite shambolic in this round. Good nade. Maybe he can get a double sprayed out here. Doesn't get a single kill. And they can even let them have the bomb now. It's fine. You don't have to fight for it.
I was going to say, don't stand in the little chokehold there. There's absolutely nothing to be won. They've also got a double flank coming through the middle and also the bridge in the middle, so they've got a lot going on at the moment. Even if Cloud9 win a couple of fights here, just getting the bomb plant at this point in time should be very, very difficult for the T side to even attempt. Perfecto's on his own in a 1 versus 4. He does get the first one.
They can just wait for the plant now. They don't have to overcommit to these battles. He's got the bomb on his back here, but look how overworked he is. Nowhere to go, nowhere to hide, and nowhere to plant. It will be ENCE biting back here, and that's the worst possible outcome. You don't get the extra stage of loss bonus if you give up that second round force buy. So now you're down to $1,400 with no plan.
They have 6 rounds, Henry, and none of them are consecutive. They're all just individual. I know I keep bringing it up, but it's so ridiculous because the Counter-Strike economy, you need that. You need to be able to string something together for this to really make sense. Electronic with an AK, Mac 10 on Hobbit. I don't even mind that they're forced here.
Oh no, yeah, you kind of have to. You double eco anyway. You get $1,400, right? So even if you do take a full eco, you get $1,900 on top of that. It's nothing. So you have to buy here.
I was not expecting it. I really thought this was going to be one of the golden matches of the tournament. That's what it felt like to me in my brain.
I built it up. I said this could be the best game of the tournament, full stop. Not even just so far. This could be. And we might get there. There's a potential for a third map, don't get me wrong, but Madden with a beautiful play here, locking one player in. He always wants a bit more, and he seems to get away with it. Look how well he's playing it here. Flashbang comes in, just looking to mow them down, and it's just beautiful to watch. That was a perfect sequence of play there. Once again, they've just been putting down amazing CS time and time again here. It's difficult to poke any holes in it.
Yeah, he feels like he's one of those players that really builds the momentum in the round.
He hears them coming, the incendiary locks one of them in, and then he can duck and weave around, knowing he can segregate fights. But taking down the AK at range as well, I didn't expect that, I'll be honest with you. Great shot. They put one back here, and bear in mind this is the force buy. It'll be 12-6 against them. If they don't save anything here, they'll be on just Glocks in the following round, meaning 13-6. So this is getting to the danger zone now.
It absolutely is. I'm almost speechless. I really can't believe. I did, we would do, I think we did some day one interviews, and one of the questions revolved around how many people, how many teams that coming out of Cologne could actually continue their form. For me, it's so obvious that ENCE were going to continue in the way that they did. For some of the other teams, I think it's a lot more questionable, but definitely I feel like ENCE are proving time and time again that they know what they're doing. They have an internal logic that's sort of carrying them forward, and it's really beautiful. Hobbit's going to be able to save the AK at the very least, but
And this is championship form we're seeing right now.
It is.
This is a team that can go the whole way.
Yeah, maybe now is a good time to remind everyone that on the other side of the bracket, G2 is still alive.
Yeah.
So is Vitality, but if G2 make it to the final, we could have a rematch of Cologne, which would be,
everyone would love that, right?
That actually would be such a great story.
Because the problem is with that grand final, not to take anything away from Snappy, but he was the highest performer for ENCE in the grand final.
Sure.
Some pies didn't really show up. That's a massive problem. He didn't really get to sink his teeth in the way he would like. That rematch would be amazing for this tournament. I think that's what we need to be aiming for here. I love that storyline, and it looks at least the first piece of the puzzle is coming together in this matchup.
And the truth is, to be honest, there's almost no bad storylines, right? Because even if it is Vitality on the other side, then obviously they're the major champions. Either way, it's going to work out fairly well here, I'd say. 12-6 as ENCE are looking at the last 4 rounds. That's all they need here to send Cloud9 packing. And the way that it's played out right now, you even if they've got a bunch of kills, they've kind of still stayed competitive. You're going to look back at this result and think, man, they just never got off the ground. Not the way that they would have wanted here.
It's disappointing to say the least. Like we're praising ENCE a lot, and rightly so. It hasn't been like a terrible performance from Cloud9. It's not like everything's gone wrong for them. It's more of the sense that it's very, very well played. A great showing from ENCE all around. They've had no weaknesses. Snappy's called a perfect game and provided heavy artillery as well with his firepower.
Wow.
That is boost.
Looking over the wall and the scaffolding to try and see if they could catch someone. You're not going to.
I don't think you can even really see him there.
Doubt it. Very seriously doubt it.
That's a really strong boost. Like, you're not going to be pre-firing it at all. You'll be so fixated on the heaven position itself, then Cake, and then the bricks.
Either this connector push works or the round is done, because the bomb's on the other side alone, so they really have to make it through. It's a pretty big investment to have people there. No, it's trying to lure them into it, make it a little bit of noise, but look at the grenades that are left on ENCE. They can actually slow this down a lot still.
You're right. There's a whole arsenal of utility, and as soon as they commit, here comes the incendiary. You're going to have to just sit back and wait. And you're going to be naded, you can be smoked off, and now what do you do?
You have to run through the smoke with the bomb. Unfortunately, 30 seconds left. It's going to be way low on the clock before they get through. There's the grenade right on top. The spray for Nuts couldn't have been any better. Perfecto. Very hard to win this one. 1 versus 3. He's trying to find something. He does have the M4 picked up. Trying to do it. He's got 1 bullet left.
1 bullet.
He hasn't had a chance to reload it. Only 2 in the P250. Oh no, Henry.
Oh, that is the nightmare scenario. We've all been there before. 1 bullet in the M4, 2 in the P250, and it will be 13-6.
But goddamn, can I just get a break?
Yeah, he picked up the M4 thinking there might be a fighting chance here. This is my moment to shine, but it all falls apart once again. And we'll have a look. Axe up. A promising kill to open things up, but Nerds took care of business here. Multiple kills, precise with that M4 as you might expect, and Senpai's making light work of that final kill. Round number 20. Just the Tech 9 for Hobbit after saving the AK. Didn't have the extra cash his teammates did. They made towards the T-steps, and they've actually got past the initial angle of Senpai, so they might be able to catch him off guard.
But Dia's there as well. Look at the timing. Grenade in hand. Frank Sally's caught with his
Why
pants
is this
down, and
still
Dia
going?
wants to keep pushing. The flash is there, and he mows them all down. That's what he wanted. Madden with the assist.
Every other player would have fall back, take the advantage, but of course, Dia never satisfied, and he gets all three, catching them with their pants round their ankles, grenades in hand, making them look foolish.
And that's the kind of team play. You could write that down on a piece of paper, like, if I get the kill, you throw the flashbang, and I'm going to keep going, but it happens almost at an instinctual level. By the time Dia gets the kill, the flash is already in the air from Madden,
So sick.
and they just can keep going. It's absolutely seamless.
Yeah. Like, we're all a fan of Ents at this point, but I wasn't expecting this level of performance. Truly world-class every single round. Like, it's difficult to even find any mistakes in the last few. Like, just like, even then, I was like, it's an interesting decision, Dia. But like you said, it was calculated. It was all planned. The flash was there. He knew that he could find multiple kills, and he's looking for the ace right now. Electronic cowering in the corner. The powerhouse of Dia cannot be stopped. He bulldozes another one down, and it's a clean sweep, 14-6, Cloud9. It looks like they'll be exiting the tournament at this stage. They just haven't got anything done in this series whatsoever. The most exciting move of roster mania. Everyone's so hyped for this lineup, and they've just been non-existent in the quarterfinals here.
That is, I mean, it's absolutely disappointing. Again, you look at the way that that Maniac set it up at the pregame. I think it's absolutely right. There aren't really many excuses left. You want this lineup to win tournaments. Look at this timing here. Boop, and now the flashbang is like instantly happening.
Unbelievable how good this was. And the fact he gets the fourth as well, a clean sweep, and they've got no money. They've got $3,000 per player. And with tournament life on the line, they're going to have to operate with Tech-9s. You can't really justify the force buy here. It would do nothing for you. Just have like Galils with no nades. Like, what's that going to do?
Yeah.
So Tech-9s, half buy, and for series point ends, I've got a bit of a walk in the park here. And it's not even really the half buy. Only 2 players have Kevlar. It's more in line with an eco about the protection of the body armor.
You're hoping that you find someone slipping up somewhere.
If you had the Deagles, you could kind of maybe get on board of it. So we know, like, those are the kind of weapons. Like, if you had 5 Deagles, maybe some crazy one-taps will come through. The Tech-9, though, is going to require full execution. You need to get close range, hunt them down. I don't know if that's going to be possible. They've just been locked out at every facet of the map so far. One more round will do of a series point, and that will be a death sentence for Cloud9. Looking dejected, removed from this series. They throw a decent flashbang in. It's actually very effective. That's a kill.
Ooh. Did one of the bullets hit the grenade?
I think it did.
Very interesting. Maybe the replay could catch it. 4 versus 5. Either way, it's just fine. Electronic at least getting the opening here. Nerds peeking in behind the flames, and now the grenade a little bit deep. Got to bounce around the corner. It won't quite get the kill, but man, he's done a lot of damage. Look at how low they are, except for Hobbit here. They're all a little bit beat up.
Yeah. That's going to be very difficult to operate with now. Sure, you've got a rifle in the hands of Axar, but how do you breach a bomb site with no utility and no health? Like, as soon as any bullets coming through a smoke like they have been left, right, and center here, especially for the likes of Diha, I don't think there's a way they can really do anything with this. Like, you're just going to have to hope you catch a CT off position, just like this. Snappy.
Maybe, yes. But you're right, they can't block off Sunpius either. That AWP of his should be able to land at least a couple of kills. Not even a flashbang to unseat him from the bomb site. And Snappy finding it. Now they're locked in. Now they're just being funneled into the bomb site. And there we go. No smokes, no flashes, no nothing. Nerds up close. This is devastating news. Yeah, they got the 1 kill, and that's all they're going to get. Nerds hunting them down. A triple for him, and a 15th round for Ents.
Well, well, well. We came into this one saying it'll be the game of the tournament. Potentially the world's best team on paper, the best roster change of all time. And this is what we've been delivered here. A non-starter. No one really got going. No big clutches. No fantastic teamwork, just a very flat performance and a remarkable showing from Ents. Don't get me wrong, but I expected so much more.
Yeah, and think of the roster change. I mean, even when Sunpius was picked up on the team, it wasn't immediately hot right out the gate, but it certainly warmed up ever since. Nerds, the spray, he's nearly got a double. Oh my god, he's just holding the tightest angle possible, and the headshot to follow it up. Disgusting!
That's more like it. Nuts showing that he is a superstar in the making. A name for the future because he continues to deliver frag after frag, so calm in every scenario. And now to knock Cloud9 out of the tournament. They've got a 4-on-2 advantage. Hobbit and Electronic with nothing to do. How do you recover this one, Anders?
I don't think you do. It's the kill against Shiro is so spectacular because he's holding such a tight angle. He's not showing anything more than he needs to. See how look at where he's pushed forward. Free kill. Non-Electronic, just Hobbit left 1 versus 3. Now this gets that one, but it should be too late.
Should be. Well, ladies and gentlemen, it all started on Ancient. Cloud9, an emphatic start, Anders, 5-0 in their favor. It all fell apart. They lost 16-7, and Anubis doesn't get any better from them. Very casual victory there for ENCE. They booked themselves a place in the semi-finals, knocking out Cloud9 en route. An absolutely brilliant performance across the board. Every member of the team stepped up, not only from an individual skill level, the synergy, the execution, the awareness, every facet of the game was completely under control here. ENCE are in championship form right now.
They definitely are. A lot of players surely across the world are going to be looking at this kind of teamwork and just with jealousy in their eyes thinking, I wish I could play on a team that was this dynamic, where it seems like you don't even have to make the call. The teammate behind you just knows what the play is before you even get on the comms. It's absolutely devastating to be up against. There's no question about Cloud9. They are shook right now.
I can't believe how good that was. Difficult to poke any holes in their performance whatsoever. Snappy once again leading his team to another amazing victory. Just a great performance all around. If you thought Ancient was good, Anubis was even better.
Yeah.
They are showing they are the full package here. I'm not sure there's anyone that can take them down if they can continue to play like this. That's the problem. We didn't see it in Cologne in the grand final. They dropped off there, but looking to manage to reclaim glory once again. And it sounds like we are ready to throw it down to the show floor with James Banks with Snappy.
Well, that was a masterclass performance coming out from ENCE and a very good win, Snappy. I just want to look at the video to start off with and just say, did that feel like the dream video for you? Were you completely prepared for it?
I mean, I think we just have 6 maps, which is, I think it's hard to punish us at this point. We worked on our weaknesses, and I think no matter where people go, it's hard to find a very skewed matchup.
سنابي من فريق انس اعزائنا المشاهدين بعد الفوز الكلين كان 2-0 كنا سنسال السؤال الاول يتكلم عن الماب هول حقهم وخصوصا ان الماب فيتو كان مره من صالحهم فكان السؤال هل انتم كنتم جاهزين للماب فيتو اللي ممكن يطلعون فريق كلاود 9 لكن كان يقول انه لا احنا صراحه عندنا 6 مابات واحنا مره كويسين فيها وركزنا على اننا نصلح اخطائنا ونقاط الضعف اللي عندنا وقدرنا اننا على طول نفوز المباراه.
You say about your weaknesses. Was this something you learned specifically from Cologne? Was this something you've been working on for some time?
No, I think in general at Cologne, even though we got to the final, it was a rough tournament individually for multiple of us. We weren't really hitting our shots, but in this game we played really good individually. All of my players was on point, and I think that was the biggest thing today.
سألنا سؤال ثاني لسنابي نتكلم عن التدريبات اللي هم مروا فيها هل هالتدريبات هذه كانت بعد ما شفنا اللي صار في الايام كولونيوم كانوا في المركز الثاني ولا وش كانت البروسيجر حقتهم انه كيف قدروا انهم يوصلوا للمرحله هذه الجواب كان يقول انه لا صراحه اللي صار في ايام كولونيوم يعني كان مشكلته الاساسيه انه احنا المهاره الفرديه حقتنا ما كانت كويسه ولا قدرنا نأدي اداء كويس من هذه الناحيه لكن المره هذه لا بالعكس ادائنا الفردي كان مره ممتاز وهذا الشيء اللي احنا يعني اشتغلنا عليه الفتره الاخيره.
Now the teamwork for ENCE and the chemistry and the way you guys set each other up has always been on point. But this time it seemed like even with the firepower that we see on paper for Cloud9, they weren't able to do anything about it. Was there something specific you worked on to make sure they didn't have a chance to come into it? Because at times, other than say the beginning of Ancient, they didn't really stand a chance.
I think Cloud9 will be a very good team. They might need a little bit more time still. But if you look at their roster, I think their roles fit good. They have a good coach. So I think it's only a matter of time before we will see Cloud9 in the top 5 in the world. But today we were the better team, and I'm happy about that.
سألنا سنابي السؤال الثالث نتكلم عن كل اللي صار في المباراة هذه يبين انه فعلا انس كانوا جدا جاهزين للي يقدمونه كلاود 9 فهل هم اصلا كانوا مخططين كيف يمكن يلعبون ضدهم ولا وش اللي صار؟ يقول لا صراحة انا اشوف انه كلاود 9 هم حاليا يعتبرون فريق جدا ممتاز، الراستر حقهم جدا متميز، الكوتش حقهم مرة كويس، لكن يبغى لهم فترة اطول عشان يقدرون يوصلون للمرحلة اللي احنا متوقعينها ووقتها ممكن يكونون من التوب 5 تيمز من ناحية المستوى في العالم ووقتها ممكن يأدون اداء كويس لكن اليوم كنا احنا الفريق الافضل فزنا المباراة.
Cloud9 are now the next team that hit the heartbreak in the heat, but ENCE, they're our next semi-finalists.
يعطيكم العافية أعزائنا المشاهدين الآن راح نتوجه للاستديو نتكلم عن المباراة بين انس لأنه الآن توجهوا إلى سيمي فاينلز وكلاود 9 انتهت قصتهم معنا في جيمرز 8.
Being a pro back in those days meant you weren't a pro. I didn't receive any salary. I studied. I had a part-time job, and I was playing 4 hours in the evening. It meant everything to win a trophy that actually means something, because I was starting to fear that it wasn't gonna happen, right? Because I've lost some finals. I lost the IEM Fall final, obviously that wasn't so big, but then we lost Dallas final and Pro League final in 2022. So I was like starting, man, I really want to win. So it was a chip off my shoulders when I finally got that.
Snappy is a funny one when it comes to Counter-Strike players. I think in the nicest possible way you could call him a journeyman. Like, he's someone that has always been relevant, has always been respected within the Counter-Strike scene, but has never really achieved greatness. And now, getting to the finals of Cologne with this world-class roster, there was a pack of underdogs, and they've somehow come out of the trap so hot and so impressive. And all of his players are recognizing it's Snappy who's like the driving force behind this team's success. Like, even their star players don't want to take the credit, they give it all to Snappy. So to go from someone who was considered a mediocre but respected Counter-Strike player, a decent in-game leader, to being one of the most respected names generally in CSGO, and everyone's talking about you, I tip my hat to Marco. He's a very impressive career leading up to this point, and it looks like it's only going to get better.
Up for the bait! Snappy refuses to quit. It has to be Snappy! It has to be Snappy!
I think, as I said, like when I came back to CS in 2016 or something like this, it was always tough because you got placed down on the ladder. Like, there was a lot of Danish in-game leaders in front of me, and my best players would get stolen to their teams and so forth. What I am so happy about with ENCE, I joined a project with a really good organization. The guys behind it gave a lot of trust to me and also to Saw, our coach, in order to build this project, and they've supported us really well.
If I had to describe Snappy as an in-game leader, I would have to use the word chaotic, I suppose. I commentate a lot of his games, and it gives me anxiety seeing some of the rounds and strategies he presents. It's very idiosyncratic, I would say. It's difficult to compare it to any other play styles of the top teams. It's off meta. It's very built around set pieces, pop executions, upper rushes. It's stuff you don't normally expect, and they live and die by the sword in that respect. They can either do amazingly well, or it can all crumble around them, but that's what everyone loves about this team. When they're on, they're really on. It's exciting Counter-Strike. When it doesn't work out, it can look a little bit confusing at times, but still, I really enjoy the strategic input from Snappy in general, and I think ENCE are a very exciting team.
Thank you.